Foreign affairs commentator Douglas Herbert is with me. And Doug, look, the first thing to say is we don't have confirmation for the moment that the Houthis are behind this latest attack, but clearly they are very much the likely actors here. And if it is confirmed there's been a Houthi strike on a ship today, it would suggest the Houthis intend to keep carrying out those acts despite the American and the British strikes inside Yemen.
Absolutely. And Nadia, what you've just said is not speculation. It's not you going out on some editorial limb. It is exactly what the Houthis have explicitly telegraphed. They have not in any way shown that they are either intimidated or inclined to cease and desist in what have been, yes, their missile attacks against commercial shipping in the Red Sea, and even targeting over the weekend an American destroyer, a missile that was shot down. The Houthis have made it very clear, if anything, they almost have a little bit more strut in their step, that the U.S. and U.K. jointly launching these strikes, operations against the Houthis, targeting Houthis, not to wipe out the Houthis, but as the U.S. and U.K. see it, to degrade and their military capacity and deter them from launching further attacks. The Houthis actually, this is literally rocket fuel for them. They are, in a sense, and they've been telegraphing this, they, in a sense, for both political reasons, ideological reasons, geopolitical reasons, they almost welcome this fight against the far larger, the Goliath, if you will, of the U.S. and U.K., pitted against what has been a relatively small Iranian-backed rebel group in Yemen. It gives them more street cred, literally the bragging rights to be the dominant players, if not in Yemen, because remember, Yemen has an internationally recognized government that's not the Houthi government based in the south of the country. But these types of skirmishes, if you will, taking on frontally the U.S. and U.K. and saying, I ain't even scared. Keep on, bring it on. That type of thing raises, if you will, their profile at home, gives them perhaps more legitimacy, and perhaps makes people, not everyone, but some Yemenis and others in the international community perceive them as effectively the arbiters of what goes on in Yemen, the actual face of the Yemenis government.
And Doug, we are expecting to hear from the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak relatively shortly this afternoon.
Yeah.
He's due to make an address to Parliament on those UK strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. What's your sense as to what his message is likely to be today?
Well, his message is he is literally reporting, yes, post de facto, because the UK took part in these strikes already over the weekend with the United States, and he's now reporting back to Parliament. Now, yes, he's under scrutiny from Parliament. Yes, there are those in Parliament who are critical of the fact that there wasn't consultation with all of Parliament or a vote, but there's more of the voices in the UK Parliament now, especially those in his own conservative faction, are more on his side. They understand the necessity, as they see it, in wartime when there is a clear and present danger, a strategic threat, in this case, an actual danger to commercial shipping, to UK, US, other Western ships in the Red Sea. You have to take the threat out first. They're striking at the threat, and then you report back to Parliament, and then perhaps seek a vote from Parliament. So surprisingly, perhaps, he does have backing from large swathes of the Parliament. He's not going to go up against a Parliament who is up in arms over the fact that he acted without getting that consent first. A lot of these parliamentarians will be sympathetic to the argument that in these types of extraordinary circumstances, you sometimes have to militarily strike first, and he is, as Prime Minister, authorized to do so. But unwritten, it is implicit that at some point, and today is that point, he should go back to Parliament, report on what happened, and then perhaps seek a vote and input. He says right now the Parliament's going to press him on, well, what happens next? Are there going to be further strikes? He's expected to tell them, because they've already messaged this, it will depend on whether or not there are further attacks, which is interesting in light of what you were just saying, that there have been today attacks, albeit unclaimed at this hour yet, by the Houthis, but perhaps from the Houthis. It will really put Rishi Sunak on the spot. How will he respond? Continue to strike, perhaps hold fire for the moment, but he's going to make it very clear that if it is a Houthi attack, perhaps Britain, it's incumbent on Britain to uphold, as he sees it, the international rules-based order and to defend national security interests and commercial interests in the Red Sea.
Douglas Herbert, for now, thank you very much indeed for your analysis there.